battle for Syria's largest city continues. This is SkyWatchTV for Monday, October 19th, 2015. I'm Derek Gilbert. Syrian government troops backed by Hezbollah, Iranian Guard forces, and Russian airstrikes moved to the southern outskirts of Aleppo over the weekend. Aleppo, the biggest city in Syria, home to about 2 million people, at least before the fighting started. The BBC reports that rebel groups holding the city were recently reinforced with anti-tank missiles, a powerful weapon, presumably supplied by Saudi Arabia or the United States, funneled through Turkey. Observers on the ground estimate that about 70,000 people have fled Aleppo and the area around it since the fighting began on Friday. Now, I have to point out again that Aleppo, as the crow flies, is only 25 miles from Dabiq, the village in northern Syria where the Islamic State believes a prophecy by Muhammad says a climactic battle will take place between the forces of Islam and the forces of Rome, Christendom, which then will lead to a military victory in Istanbul, and then the global caliphate will be established. This takes on special significance because last week the patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church at a press conference with President Vladimir Putin declared this to be a holy war. And did you ever think you would live long enough to see Russia positioning itself as the defender of Christendom in a battle against Islam? Now, last week we passed along a report that Cuba had also sent about 2,000 troops to the fight in Syria. Yesterday, the Cuban government issued a denial, calling the report irresponsible. But if it is true, and Western news sources are still reporting this as fact, it would be embarrassing to the Obama administration, considering how much criticism it took for normalizing relations with Cuba earlier this year. Also embarrassing, Defense News reports that a Shiite militia unit in Iraq dropped off an American-made M1A1 Abrams tank for maintenance at a U.S.-supported repair facility in Baghdad. Workers were surprised to find a Russian machine gun mounted on the tank, loaded with Iranian 12.75 millimeter ammunition. Sources told Defense News that this may constitute a dual violation of the foreign military sales agreement with the Iraqi government for the unauthorized transfer of the tank to an Iranian-backed Shiite militia unit and unsanctioned addition of the Russian gun and Iranian ammunition. That's just the latest example of how crazy and confused things have become in Iraq and Syria these days. And here's another data point. As of today, there are planes and drones from 12 different national air forces in the skies over Syria and Iraq. That's the United States, Russia, Turkey, Syria, Iran, Israel, Canada, France, Australia, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. And to make things even more interesting, yesterday the U.S. and Israel began their biannual Blue Flag exercises at an airbase in southern Israel. American and Israeli squadrons will be joined in this exercise by units from Greece and Italy. The two-week drill will simulate a high-intensity confrontation against an enemy, a political entity, with a strong army. I wonder who that might be. The question is how this drill might complicate things in the skies over Syria, especially since the United States rejected an offer from Russia to coordinate air movements. Now, thankfully, at least the Israelis are talking with their Russian counterparts, and presumably messages will get back and forth between the U.S. and Russia through those contacts, and hopefully nothing gets lost in translation. Israelis also keeping an eye on what's happening in Canada today. As Canada goes to the polls, the Conservative government of Prime Minister Stephen Harper, which has been very friendly to Israel, faces a tough election challenge. In fact, projections are that they will lose the election today to the Liberal Party headed up by Justin Trudeau. Now, analysts don't expect a major shift in Canada's relationship with Israel, even though Prime Minister Harper has been considered the most pro-Israel Western head of state in recent memory. In Israel, a terror attack leaves 11 people wounded, 1 dead. A Palestinian gunman killed an Israeli soldier and wounded 11 others at the central bus station in Beersheba. Security forces shot and killed the gunman as he tried to leave the station. Israeli police began putting up a wall in East Jerusalem yesterday. The 10-foot-high barrier will eventually be about 1,000 feet long and separate an Arab neighborhood from a Jewish one where there's been a history of stone and firebomb throwing at Jewish homes and cars. Critics of the Netanyahu government consider this a de facto division of Jerusalem. 42 Palestinians and 7 Israelis have been killed in the recent wave of violence. And yesterday, Hamas reportedly directed its cells in the West Bank, specifically near Hebron and Nablus, where the tomb of Joseph was set on fire last week, to return to the old tactic of suicide bombing against Israeli targets in the West Bank and Jerusalem. Here in the U.S., the Parliament of World Religions wraps up today in Salt Lake City. Over 10,000 attendees heard plenary sessions focused on the rights of women, indigenous people, war and violence, climate change, and income inequality. Keynote speakers included the Dalai Lama by video, Jim Wallace of Sojourners, and Jane Goodall, who's known for her research into the behavior of chimpanzees. Goodall said that religious leaders should use their influence to affect policies on environmental issues such as climate change. She also said that Pope Francis should be canonized on the spot because he gives her more hope than anybody else alive today. Now, there's some bishops and cardinals in Rome who would disagree with Ms. Goodall. The Synod on the Family, we told you about last week, continues, wraps up this coming Sunday. Bishops are divided on the family issues that Pope Francis has asked them to consider, specifically how the church ministers to divorced Catholics who remarry outside the church, homosexuals and transgendered people. Currently, under Roman Catholic doctrine, people who marry in the Catholic Church, divorce, and then remarry in a civil ceremony are still considered married to their first spouse and living in an illicit relationship, therefore not allowed to take communion. More than 300 bishops, delegates, and observers are supposed to present a document of their conclusions to Pope Francis this coming weekend. The Pope may issue his own document. And we told you last week about a group of 13 cardinals who reportedly signed a letter expressing their concern over this synod, their concern being that it has apparently been hijacked by liberals inside the church. But there have been conflicting reports coming out of Rome over who actually signed this document and what the document actually says. All this coming just after the release of a new book by Cardinal Godfried Daniels of Belgium, in which he admits that a group of liberal cardinals conspired to frustrate the intentions of Pope Benedict, to convince Pope Benedict to resign, and then to get Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio, now Pope Francis, elected as Benedict's replacement. Well, what you don't know may actually not only kill you, but your pets as well. This week, SkyWatch TV begins a 5-week series, an investigation into how we are fundamentally transforming life on planet Earth at the most basic level, affecting not just us, but the creatures that have been trusted in our care. The food we eat, the foods they eat, and the desire for immortality without God, all coming together in what we call genetic Armageddon. We begin with a 2-week look at a, disturbing new book called Dead Pets Don't Lie. Co-authors Donna Howell and Joe Artis join us on SkyWatch TV tomorrow night. You can see that broadcast at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Christian Television Network. That's 8:30 p.m. Central Time. The Christian Television Network is broadcast on DirecTV Channel 376, Dish Network Channel 267, and the Glory Star Satellite Channel 117. And if you can't watch the program as it airs, you can watch it later in the week on the official SkyWatch TV YouTube channel and Roku channel. You'll find a link to the YouTube channel at our website and instructions on how to add the Roku channel or the SkyWatch TV channel to your Roku account, posted at skywatchtv.com/Roku. Registration is open, but available slots are going quickly for the 2016 Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference. That's coming up next July the 15th through the 17th in Colorado Springs. Speakers at this conference include L.A. Marzulli, Bill Salas, Avi Lipkin. I'm sure he'll have plenty to say about what's going on in Israel at the moment. Chuck Missler, Carl Tykrib, who is currently an observer at the Parliament of World Religions, and we'll be talking with him about that in a few weeks. Timothy Mahoney, producer of the excellent new film about the Exodus, Patterns of Evidence. They and others, including yours truly, speaking at the 2016 Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference. Registration is now open at prophecywatchers.com, but again, it's limited to the first 1,000, so do it now if you have not already. And of course, October is the month of Halloween. How do we Christians address this? Is it just a harmless fun for children where they can dress up, or is there something darker behind it? The book God's Ghostbusters takes a look at some of the cultural tropes that we see every year at Halloween, and it's our gift to you for your gift of any size this month at SkyWatch TV. Essays on things that go bump in the night from a Christian perspective. Again, our gift to you for your gift of any amount, and instructions on how to donate posted at skywatchtv.com. Your comments, questions, and suggestions are always welcome. I try to respond as quickly as I can to as many as I can. Email those to me at dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.
Coming exclusively from SkyWatch TV for a very limited time starting November 17th, 2015. When you purchase the new documentary film Inhuman and the companion book Dead Pets Don't Lie from SkyWatch TV, you'll receive the largest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history. An unprecedented $300 in free books, audio sets, and DVDs to add to your library or to give away as gifts during this holiday season. Included in this limited time giveaway are never before offered free audio sets. Over 30 hours of the most sought after interviews in history with global experts combined on a special 2-disc volume set discussing the unfolding genetic Armageddon now underway and what you need to know to survive the future. Featuring Something Transhumanism This Way Comes, The Coming Replacement Humans, The Days of Noah, The Coming Zombie Apocalypse, Conspiracy Theory, Psychotronic Warfare. Also, for a very limited time, in addition to the never-before-offered free best-selling audio sets, if you order before this special offer expires, you'll also receive the multi-part SkyWatch TV special investigative report on Inhuman the documentary and Dead Pets Don't Lie, the award-winning book Forbidden Gates, Pandemonium's Engine, the best-selling DVD by dog behavior expert Joe Artis, The Natural Dog Training Method. The breakthrough book for pet enthusiasts everywhere, Do Our Pets Go to Heaven? 2 additional mystery books with a $40 value. And if you're one of the first 3,000 customers to place your order during this limited time offer, you will also receive, absolutely free, the groundbreaking WorldNet daily film The Last Pope featuring Tom Horn. Place your order beginning November 17th, 2015. Altogether, the never-before-offered free 6 full audio series on a 2-disc volume set plus the 5 free books and 2 additional DVDs total an astounding $300 giveaway to add to your library or to give away as gifts during this holiday season. So it's urgent that beginning November 17th, 2015, you order the new documentary film Inhuman and the companion book Dead Pets Don't Lie for only $39.95 to also receive the largest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history. But please understand this offer will end without notification and is on a first-come, first-served basis starting November 17th. So be sure to visit SkyWatchTV.com to follow the countdown to the greatest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history. Order the new documentary film Inhuman and the companion book Dead Pets Don't Lie for only $39.95 to also receive the largest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history.